Alright guys, just wanted to make a video on how to use Talk to Me in Korean and actually make some progress. So I see online a lot of people who are 2 years in, 6 months in, and they're still using Talk to Me in Korean and they're on level 4, level 5, level 6 or whatever level. So if that's you, this video might be for you. And then if you're also a newcomer and you've just heard about Talk to Me in Korean, because basically if you Google Korean or Korean learning, they're going to be one of the first ones that shows up. So this video is just going to be about the main curriculum that's free on the website. All you have to do is make an account and log in. So you make an account and log in, and then you go to the courses section, and then at the top here you'll have free essential courses, and you just get all 10 of them and just add them to your learning center. And then you go to your learning center, and then all you need to do is just go through them. So you start from the start, click on level 1, lesson 1, and you just go through it. Ignore the podcast at the top, because this is 14 minutes of like a 99% English podcast. That's all it's going to teach you, is how to say hello and how to say thank you. So it's a lot simpler and a lot quicker to just read. You just go through and just read. Hopefully you can read Hangul, so that'll help you in the long run, because and then just ignore the romanization. You don't need it, it's not going to help. So you just go through. It doesn't even matter if you don't know how to say this, because the thing is you're going to come across it so much that you basically have no choice but to learn it. So you just go through, mark it as clear, on to the next one, and go through. Ignore the podcast. Another 10 minutes of just listening to like 99% English. It's not worth it. You're better off go through as much as you can in one day. So you can easily clear the first level in one day. You can easily go through probably about 3 levels a day. So then you can complete the whole thing in less than a week, and then you're making progress. So the reason to do it like this is to just show yourself what exists. So obviously, because especially if you're a beginner, you don't know what exists. So by the time you're through to level 4, you're still seeing stuff that is really common, like super common, that you're going to see all the time. And you've got short explanations with it, which is why Talk to Me in Korean is one of the better curriculums, because the explanations are really simple. They just tell you what you need to know, whereas even the podcast will just waffle on a bit about extra stuff that is just unnecessary. So spending your time, the time that you have per day, if you can spend that going through this as quick as possible, and then when you're just tired or you just don't want to do anymore, so say you do level 1 to 3, you just stop, you go on to wherever, and you just stick on something to watch, and you can watch that with English subtitles or Korean subtitles. And then if you with the Korean subtitles, you just look at the words. You don't understand it doesn't matter, but obviously with English subtitles you have 100% understanding, and then you're just listening for all the stuff that you've seen. You just listen to it, because a lot of people, they get stuck, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to go here and they're trying to go there, and they're trying to learn this, and they will not move on. They will not go to the next one. They will not learn what is there. They're not learning what's there. They're just stuck. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'll do this, and they're doing one lesson a day, and it's not to. You're not going to learn Korean doing one lesson a day. You're not even going to learn Korean doing one level a day if you can. Well, you can. It'll be a lot quicker than the other people, because you'll have done it the whole thing in 10 days. And the thing is, you're not going to remember everything. Even if you like, no matter how long you spend, you're never going to remember it first time. So you better off get it into your brain, see what exists. Like that's all you need to do is just see what exists. So then you can go and watch things and listen to content, and you can get the sounds in your ears, because grammar is just sound, and you can hear the way that grammar should be used. You can hear the emotion in it and the way that people use it. So you'll learn the grammar from your input. So you can't learn it just from reading about it. It's impossible. This is why people get stuck when they're trying to output. They just read this, and then they try to output, and then they don't actually know what they're doing, and they have to keep coming back, and then what does this mean again? And they're just translating in their head instead of actually using what they know. Like they just know it because they've heard it so many times that they can just output it. So yeah, so expose yourself to as much content as you can outside of this, and then you'll develop an understanding instead of just translating. So then when you're done, you might think, oh, well, what do I do now? So you just keep exposing yourself to the language, start reading, you can even go through Korean grammar in use, which is another grammar book. So you can do the beginner version and the intermediate version of that. I'll put the links to those in the description, although you can find them elsewhere if you look. So also, I have a blog post on the actual grammar points on there. So I've cut out all the fluff, all the ones that don't really matter, all the things that are just you can just work it out from what you already know, and they even explain them in the other one. So this is like the old website. There used to be a page on the old Talk to Me in Korean website where it had just all the lessons in one on one page as a list. So when you're done and you need to refer back to something, you can, if you just want to learn everything in this, you can just come back. You can even copy and paste it and then just delete the ones that you 100% know, and then it's got the links if you click them, so it'll just take you to the lesson. So then, yeah, you can just come back and use that. Or what you can do is just Google anything that you come across while you're reading or watching something. If you've got subtitles, you can just Google it and type grammar after it, and it will 100% come up. All right, let's take one. 말고, yeah, G 말고, yeah. So let's just take that. G 말고 grammar. It's already there. Look, it's even in Russian. So grammar, and it's one of the first things, and it will like 100% come. Even the Talk to Me in Korean lesson is there, and then there's 100 different websites, and you can read different explanations that will give you completely different, like a view of the actual grammar. So that's good. And then if you've got any questions about the way to do it or what I've said, then you can just comment below. And that's everything.